Okay, here's my question. Why do so many people seem to feel that they don't belong here and make the statement, I just want to go home?
Because they can feel the separation between who they are and who they're being. They want to go home. They want to get into alignment. They don't want to go home. They want to get into vibrational alignment with who they really are. Let's call that home, connection, home.
Yes.
For all the reasons we just talked about.
Exactly. And aren't we already home? Aren't we wherever our soul seems to be housed, whether it's
Well,
in
of course you
world
are,
or the
but
next?
we just explained to you that you really are two perspectives. And the inner being part of you is home and is all of that. But when you're focused upon something that's got you separated from that, it doesn't matter how many people line up and say, but you don't understand, you are home, you are home, you are home. Well-being is yours. They just want to punch your lights out. Because just because you're feeling it and you're knowing it doesn't mean that they can. You cannot see around your own vibrational offering. You just can't. That's why you got to change it. There's not enough reasoning power in the world to convince you that well-being abounds when you just experienced something that didn't feel like that much well-being. Esther would say to us, especially in the beginning, but Abraham, but it's true. I think you need more information. It's true. This is true. And we would say, all things that you are claiming as true are just things that you or someone has put enough attention upon that you've made yourself the point of attraction for that. Why not make something that you want be true instead of something that you don't want be true? Because it's easy to focus on what you want and make it true as it is to focus on its absence and make that true. So ask that question again, why what? The second one?
Aren't we already home? Wherever our soul is housed, whether it's in this world or the next?
Yes, so let's just call that a given. Of course, that's true. Of course, wherever your soul is vibrationally being, that is home. But that stated fact doesn't keep you in your human personality from focusing on something that takes you away from that. So knowing that does help. That's why we tell you that constantly. But so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about bringing yourself into alignment? How are you going to know what your inner being knows?
I wanted to say this for the room as a collective whole because I thought that this was a great question because I hear it so often. People say, I just want to go home. And I'm like, you already are home. And so I wanted your divine guidance.
Here's something. If you say, I want to go home, and somebody says, you already are home, they want to say, well, then I want to go somewhere else. Must not be home I'm looking for if this is home.
Sure.
So you need a different answer. You need a different answer. Well, home feels like clarity. Do you ever feel clarity?
Yes.
Home feels like love. Do you ever feel love?
Absolutely.
Then we're talking to your imaginary friend. Home feels like satisfaction. Do you ever feel satisfaction? And when they say yes, sometimes, then say to them, well, then sometimes you are home. Sometimes you let yourself return to the vibrational home. But sometimes you don't. And so you just need to pay attention to what you're thinking about when you do feel the satisfaction or the love of home, and what you're thinking when you don't. And then once you start making that correlation, then you could guide your thoughts. You could. The thing that makes people not believe that they can guide their thoughts is that they let their thoughts get such a head of steam, so much momentum going that they can't. All you have to do is have something that's bothering you and talk to somebody else about it who it also is bothering, and the two of you become more powerful, so much more powerful than you were when you were by yourself thinking it, that you can't go home. You can't go home. It's like you've made a choice. I think I'll come here and be miserable with you for a while. I want to go home, but I'm here with you, and so we might as well just talk it out about how bad this is.
I just find it interesting how so many who say that they're on their last lifetime and they just feel like they don't belong here. And to me, I just wanted your collective guidance and wisdom on this because it has back with me for quite some time.
Here's the thing that's tricky about a teacher like yourself helping them. If somebody is proclaiming their disconnection, which is what all that is, and they've convinced you, because they're good at it, that they are disconnected and they are not home. So now as you turn your attention to them, you've got nothing for them except irritation. And the irritation that you feel is an indication that they dragged you from your home into wherever they are, and now you are almost as desperate as they are in trying to get back. So you have to have solid knowledge about what this receptive mode alignment is, so that when they're saying those things to you, You're not swayed by their lack of knowledge. You're standing in your alignment, believing that they can find alignment, and then, like their inner being, calling them, maybe with examples and processes to help them get there. Because really, all anyone needs is the slightest little bit of relief. Just the slightest little bit of relief is homeward bound. Just the slightest little bit of clarity is homeward bound. So you have to just be sure that you're there. It's the difference between empathy, we talked about this yesterday, empathy, which is going wherever they are, and compassion, which is staying right there in concert with your inner being and theirs, sort of stubbornly, like your inner being is, calling them home. You see, if you're in a bad place focused upon something you don't want, and if your inner being would join you there, you'd stop feeling bad right away. Because there'd be no gap between you and you. Let's just tried that on us a few times. Abraham, please just come where I am, please. Give me a break, because I can't get to where you are, so won't you just come to where I am? Nope. Figure it out. Please, please, please come to where I am. I would feel so much better. Nope. Figure it out. Your inner being is stubbornly going to remain in the momentum of pure positive energy and love, and you have no option if you want to feel good other than to figure it out. Sleep will do that for you. When you sleep, it stops the momentum. Meditation will do it. There are so many things that you could do, but you got to understand what the process is. And once you understand, then there is never any excuse for any period of time for you to feel bad about anything. You might be trapped in behavior. Someone might have you pinned down in some way where for just a moment you cannot control your environment. But no one can control your thoughts. No one can control your perspective. No one can control your alignment. Only you, only you, only you. And once you know that, then you are truly free. Then you can be in a good feeling place no matter what. And you're right. Your words are so profound and so right. And what everybody's asking for, that really is what they want. They want to return to their clarity and to their freedom. That's the only place that freedom ever comes from. The freedom of alignment. And no one can take that from you. But sometimes it takes a little practice until you're solidly there.
So when you talk about being up to speed with your alignment, with your vibrational alignment and manifestation, I have manifested this amazing job, and yet it's causing a lot of contrast. It's a new level, new challenges. There are days when I want to run into the woods and wonder if it's the right thing. And I wonder, am I not up to speed with my manifestation, if that's what it is? Like, I struggle now, a new level. Am I worthy of this position?
Well, anything that makes you question if you're worthy of the position is a good thing for you to be involved in, because there is nothing more important for you than to feel worthy of your position. So if you don't feel worthy of it, then that would be a good thing to set out to accomplish. And asking yourself if you are sort of works against you, don't you think?
Yeah.
How'd you get the job?
Someone I worked with previously.
Recommended you?
Yeah.
So they apparently thought you were.
Everyone around me thinks I am. It's so obvious. And my leadership team, nothing but positive feedback.
Isn't it interesting? Yet though, why are you the last holdout?
That's why I'm here.
Do you have a habit of not believing in yourself? Do you investigate possible employment by looking for things for sure you know you can do? In other words, do you look down or do you look upward? In other words, if you were playing tennis and good at it, would you look for someone that you could beat every time? Or would you look for someone who brought better tennis playing skills from you?
I looked upward.
So what makes you question if you are, when you say worthy, do you mean capable? Or do you mean there's more abundance flowing than you can comfortably receive? You use worthy in an interesting way.
I come up against contrast with other cross-functional teams that make unreasonable demands or put me in the position of feeling like I can't please all of them. And then I go to the maybe I'm not good enough place. So it's about listening to you today. I'm getting clarity around. It just means I'm out of alignment right now with my higher self. And so the closer I come into alignment with that, these outer forces and teams won't affect me, that self-esteem as much.
When you said that the idea of coming here felt like a yes, how did that job feel initially to you?
Yes.
if that was the initial response to it, that means that you are in the vibrational ballpark of it. And doesn't everything take a little settling into?
Yeah, it's only been 4.5 months.
So what specifically gives you the most often strongest feeling that you're not ready for that?
Having, just dealing with the deadlines and the demands and feeling like we're not keeping up.
In comparison with what?
The expectation there.
In comparison to other teams that are performing better? Or in comparison with a specific individual who is making the statements of intent?
But now that you mention it, none of the other teams are really keeping up either. There are challenges that are bigger than all of us that we're all dealing with.
Is it possible that you are in an environment where someone or a lot of someones have decided that by holding strong expectations that they get more from you, and so do? If they were to say to you, we know that this is hard and we really have no requirements, so just please yourself, do you think there would be as much focus?
No.
So can you appreciate their strong expectations of you in the sense that it causes you to focus?
Yes.
And wouldn't you prefer their strong expectations rather than a lackadaisical, limp environment which didn't require focus? So focusing does feel good to you. So as you're thinking about focusing, now ask yourself, what are you doing in your focusing that is disempowering you? Are you superimposing over the askers of you things that aren't there?
Yeah, I think I am.
So it's not really them making demands of you, it's you making demands of you.
Yes.
So if you step back from it and you say, well, I appreciate the focusing that they're requiring or that they are facilitating. I like focusing. And so I'm focusing to try to reach their expectations. Maybe I could do a little more focusing to reach my own expectations. So in this conversation, have you identified anything? Because we felt some rippling happening. Have you identified any expectations that you have of yourself that are unreasonable?
The rippling was realizing that's the problem, that I have sort of these really high expectations of myself.
So
and then
can you speak an expectation that you feel is high and unreasonable?
That I'd be perfect all the time. Perfect performance.
So now, when something feels unreasonable, that means you feel discord in it, which means, and you've gathered enough even from this day to understand that that negative emotion means that you're looking at it in a way that your inner being isn't. And that's why we're calling it unreasonable, because your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want and knows just how much calling to do in order to keep you moving through your path of least resistance in a comfortable way. Did you hear that? That is such a powerful thing to understand. So your inner being is calling you just right. Why don't you call yourself just right? Who do you think that you're proving something to?
I think I have to prove to myself that I'm worthy.
But if you have come to the conclusion, and we think you did today, that your inner being is the self that you're proving yourself to, and your inner being likes you just fine, then what's this other fictitious character that you're trying to prove yourself to?
I don't know. This is great.
Well, it's just stuff you've picked up along your physical trail, but having this conversation makes it feel a little irrational, doesn't it?
Yes, thank you.
And so now recapping, you have this really strong yes about this job, which means it's a really good one. And the people there are asking you to focus, which is only good for you. And you have this awesome team around you, and you are really coming together in strong ways. And each of you is stronger in your combination than any of you were in your individuality. So you're understanding the harmonics of law of attraction and how it is working for you in a really strong way. So harmony, 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 harmony with those that are asking from you, harmony with one another. The only discord that we can feel is the discord between you and you, which you softened dramatically just now. So now do you want to make some statements, just because you're in the mood to do it, about how well aligned you are in this position? I think I'm in a good place. And I like stretching, and I'm good at it.
I'm really super challenged in this job. It's only going to make me better.
All right, let's say that better. Let's say that better. Let's say it more in keeping with the laws of the universe as we know them to be. I love focusing myself into alignment because I love the feeling of the energy flowing through me in a powerful way.